Welcome to Season 3 of the Knack for Business podcast. Over 300 episodes strong, we're here to ignite your entrepreneurial spirit with fresh insights, networking gems, and creative strategies that elevate your game. Are you ready to discover what your Knack for Business truly is? Your hosts are Bernie Fransgrote from Creative Insight and Wayne Pratt from Motive 8U Inc.
Today's topic is winning in business through relationships. Now, from an audience perspective, is how can you build the right relationships that actually grow your business instead of just collecting contacts? Maile Collmer is a business coach, speaker, mastermind leader, and co-founder of the Business Acceleration Group with over 27 years of experience in real estate and business coaching. She helps entrepreneurs grow through relationship-driven strategies. As president of the National Speakers Association, Northern California chapter, Maile is a leader in the business community. She has guided thousands of professionals to success and is the author of the upcoming book, Referrals Rainmaker. Passionate about connection and collaboration, she empowers business owners to build thriving networks and achieve their goals. Maile, welcome. It's good to see you again. And what's your favorite quote or saying, ma'am?
Great to see you, Bernie. I picked a new quote from the recent NFL Super Bowl from the coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, Nick Sirianni. He said, "You can't be great without the greatness of others."
Is there a philosophy that you like to work off of and work around?
Absolutely. My core philosophy is together we can accomplish so much more than we can alone.
What's your tagline for your business?
Our tagline for the Business Acceleration Group is, when it comes to rapid business growth, it's in the bag.
You can let the cat out of the bag then, right?
That's right. That's what I'm here to do.
So people have mindsets. They have a construct in their head that, how things have to grow. What do you shift in their mindset? What do you have to adjust in their perception to scale, to grow successfully?
It depends on their background. I personally never had a job since college. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill in high school. I read business development books as fun for me. And so when I got into business right out of college, I had the mindset that I had the desire that I wanted to be that business owner. But a lot of my clients, they have a corporate experience first. They go into corporate and they have a job and they have that structure of the corporation that feeds them business. So it depends on the background. Other clients I help, maybe they went to school for a certain expertise, say attorneys, right? They study the law, hang out their shingle, and then they just want to serve with their expertise. But then they discover, oh, I need to get clients, and they don't just come because I put out a shingle. So it depends on the business owner, where they come from. Michael Gerber's book, The E-Myth, talks about what that E-Myth is, that businesses are started by business owners. Businesses are started by entrepreneurs. But that's a myth. Most businesses are started by technicians, someone who has an expertise, and they go into business for themselves to serve people with that expertise or that passion. The biggest shift is to think like a business owner and to think like an entrepreneur and have the vision and the oversight of a business to see, how do I get from just serving a client to running a business and having the systems in place and other support to serve your clients besides just you.
What do you do when your customer, your client, has bought himself a job and he's trapped?
So there's an important part about being in charge of a business. Sometimes we get overwhelmed with the hustle, overwhelmed with all the daily being in the business. That's what we call working in the business. The first thing is to carve out time to work on the business. What is your mission? What's your vision? who is your ideal client? Having certain pieces in place that will actually serve you when you're in the business, so you're even more productive and clearer on what you're working on, who you're working with, and why you're doing it. And it will help to carry you into having the framework and the mindset to see, how can I be more productive? How can I take myself out of all the little pieces and actually run my business without me doing everything? So it's that working on the business and having that ability to see, where am I going with this instead of just being in the rat race, but really, how am I progressing towards my vision? Most business owners had a vision, right? What it would be like to have their own business. They had that vision of, oh, I'm going to be able to help these people. I'm going to serve my clients. I'm going to build a great life for my family. I'm going to have time to spend with the people I love. They have this big vision, and then they get in the business and they get overwhelmed. So it's really about carving out time to work on the business, and that will make you even more productive in the business. They say with as little as 12 minutes in your day, if you work on your strategy for the day, if you work on your goals and your priorities and say, here's what I need to do today, if you just spend 12 minutes organizing what you do, you will save up to 2 hours of wasted time.
I like that. I am 60 and male, so I come at this with a whole bunch of pre-beliefs. And the goal was to go to a chamber meeting with an inch of business cards and get them all out till you didn't have any business cards. And I think that no longer works. Why don't you tell me why it stopped working and how to do it better?
Thinking about the mindset of who is attending a Chamber of Commerce event and why are they attending? Most likely, someone said to that person, oh, you need business? Go to the chamber. So a lot of times when we go to the chamber, the people who are going to the chamber are thinking, I want to get clients. I want to get business. This is where I want to get business. Okay, so they're going to sell. However, if they're going to sell and everyone's there to sell, have you ever gone to the chamber event with the intention of buying something or finding a professional to hire to help you with something in your business? So if everyone's going to sell and no one's there to buy, what the heck are we doing? Right? So it's really about building relationships. One of the biggest powers of being at an event with other business professionals and other business owners is that each one of us has a network, right? The value we bring to our network is our network. Even if I went to a poorly attended event and maybe it's me and 8 people, if someone had that sales mentality, oh, I only have 7 opportunities, but it's not that. It's exponential, because we want to sell, instead of selling to the room, we want to sell through the room. So we're building those relationships because those other people can introduce us to the people they know. And we can do the same for them. Instead of going with the intention to sell, we want to look at, okay, who do we want to meet, who we can collaborate with? Who can I help by having potential business to send to them? What are other businesses and services that my clients need that I could do right by my people and send them to someone who I trust is going to take great care of them with a service that they need that I don't provide? So now we're looking at my clients. They also need marketing materials. Okay, so who's a promotional person that can help them get the signage, sales tents, business cards, and all their marketing materials? I can build a great relationship with that person. who does websites. So I have all these other businesses that I can help my clients get in touch with great businesses that are going to provide a service they need. And then we all have more business. You want to be prepared to share what you do, who you help, and exchange contact information. But the purpose is more for collaboration and to connect other people, help your network get the great products and services of the people you're meeting by giving. Hopefully, in turn, you will receive.
I absolutely agree with every word. And here's the challenge. I want to build multi-year, rich, deep relationships that are nourishing and serve others. And I want to pay my visa by Friday. I find these things compete.
So when's the best time to plant a tree? 50 years ago? I specialize in business development, and especially business development through relationships. And just with any type of marketing, it's all about consistency. I was thinking about this the other day. I am a huge fan of Orange Theory Fitness. That's where I go and work out. I was thinking about how I am in shape today versus years ago when I had stopped going to the gym, the difference it makes to consistently work out. And I love the results. I have more energy, my clothes fit better, I feel strong, and all of those things. And it's because of the consistency. If I miss a day, it doesn't make a big deal because I'm going to go the next day. The same is true when we're marketing our business. When we do it consistently, right? If we miss a day because things went sideways, but we're going to do the next day, it's still going to come in. So we have to do the activities that are going to bring the business into us. So that means building those relationships, making our phone calls, sending emails, doing social media posting, whatever it is that you're doing to market your business. It's about consistency. It's about doing it consistently over time, not just, okay, I want business. I'm going to send out one thing and then it's going to be the cure-all. It's not one thing. It's consistency over time.
I think that the part of the magic is repetition. And the reason I make mention of this, there's a gentleman who part of a network group that I'm a party to. And we were sitting back chatting away, and they deal with HVAC and related appliances. I'm looking at him, he's telling me about something which triggered a thought in my head. I'm looking for a fireplace. I said, do you know anybody that does that? He says, I do that. I tell you that all the time. So the fireplace is not that's not the primary piece. That's more peripheral because they do more furnaces and heat pumps. And so my takeaway is, unless you have a pain point, it never really doesn't either trigger in the person, or you need that repetition of connecting. Not so much going, my name is, but there might be a subset of something that person does or connection, right? You have to do that. Is this something that you do through continuous meetings, regardless of what club or organization you're with? And does it involve dialogue? Is it my pain point? Is it because I'm talking to somebody and they happen to mention something? Oh, by the way, buddy could have been talking about maybe had a new kid, and I know someone that has baby supplies, whether it's the diapers to the strollers. How do you structure it so that without forcing it, you have that type of perfect environment coming together all the time?
It takes being intentional and really seeking out your best business connections. So I work with a lot of realtors, right? So that's my background. My first career was real estate, and I switched to coaching, consulting about 12 to 13 years ago. And so I relate really well because I was a realtor for 20 years. I understand the real estate business. And one of the ways I generated a lot of business was by the strategic alliances, the business relationships I built with key professions that could refer me over and over again. And that's what I teach my clients, right? So there are certain businesses that are going to come in contact with your ideal client over and over, and they will have that opportunity to refer you over and over again. And those are the people that you want to spend the most time with. Yes, you're going to have a wide network. You want to build your network both wide as well as deep, right? So you want to have those deep, trusted relationships. So I'm going to spend strategic time with a handful, a dozen, a manageable amount of people who are going to be my key business relationships that we can strategically work on business together. I was just having a really great call right before this with one of my key business relationships. Her name's Nikki Sullivan of the Sullivan Group with Cross Country Mortgage. And we were collaborating on an event where we're going to provide some coaching and training to realtors and help them do more business. We're creating an event where we're going to have all these people in the room that are both ideal clients for us. So we were talking about different people and who we wanted to help and who we wanted in the room and things like that. So we're really strategically collaborating. And then she's endorsing me to people. I'm endorsing her to people. And then it has more strength when that happens. It's like handpicking who you want to work on this with. And yes, you want to train them how to help you, right? Who is your ideal client and what to look and listen for and what to say when people have that pain point. What do they say next? And the more we're in conversation about that, the easier it is. And the other thing is, how can I help this person? There is an intrinsic instinct that we have when someone does something nice for us, we want to reciprocate in kind or even better, right? That's the law of reciprocity. When we help that person, when I say, oh, here, Nikki, here's a realtor that you can work with, and I make that introduction for her, that helps her, and then she wants to help me, right? It's thinking about how we can support each other.
I'm an extrovert. I can't even help myself. I go to funerals for fun. But I've been told that introverts are actually much better at networking because they approach it differently. I want your take on that.
That's because we are thinkers and we want strategy. I am an introvert by nature. I was super shy growing up, so it's really incredible that I'm a speaker now. But what I found, a lot of speakers actually were introverts because we think we're in our head a lot, and then we have all this information we want to share. When it comes to doing the activities, we're going to have a strategy, right? We're going to go in with a plan and be more intentional about that event. Because if someone doesn't love to hang out with people or big groups intimidate them, a lot of us get anxiety going into a networking event. I do it for a living, but sometimes I got to give myself a pep talk in the car and be like, okay, ready to go. You're going to have more of a strategy. You're going to be like, okay, I need to meet this person. I want to have this conversation. I want to find out this. That's why you heard that about introverts. We tend to be more strategic. It's great to have buddies, right? If you're the extrovert and I'm the introvert and we network together, we're going to complement each other. And we're going to help each other out. And we're going to be just stronger together.
I have a question. When you're doing, you're going, you should talk to this person back and forth. Is there an attribution that comes back? Is it just a recognition? Is it an affiliation? Is there an affiliation agreement? Does that make sense? Cheesy? Is it good? Or are there ideal circumstances? Yes, I refer you to this person. Here's some coin or service that comes back to you. And I know some professions, it's forbidden. You cannot compensate anybody for the referral because then it hits on an ethics issue.
Right.
But where possible, is that a good thing? Do you say, yeah, do it a lot, do it less? Does that matter?
It is up to you how you handle that. My background was real estate, and you can only pay a referral fee to someone else who's licensed. Otherwise, you can't. And so we do it because it's the right thing to do. I'm putting two people together who, one needs that service, the other person provides a service, and I trust and recommend them. So I'm doing what's in the best interest for those people. I'm helping someone else. And that's why I do it. I know that when I do that for other people, they will want to do that for me. Even if I have a specific business relationship with someone where we're really working on business together, it's not a tit for tat. It's not, I gave you one, you should give me one. By doing the right, it's going to come back to you. Sometimes with business development and lead generating activity, sometimes when you focus one direction, it comes from another direction. For example, I've been making phone calls for different events, and yesterday I received 2 different phone calls from people out of the blue, one for a speaking engagement, one for to help consulting with a commercial lending sales team. They were people, of course, that were in my network and that I built a relationship over the years, but I hadn't talked to them in a while. It's just that activity and energy, it comes back.
Maile, one thing that I'm interested in that I think you have a strong opinion on is thanks to this box in front of us, there's a tendency to commoditize all business. Everything is a search engine and an Amazon box. How do you build professional relationships in a world where everyone is reduced to the lowest common denominator?
One of the things I believe that the pandemic taught us is how important relationships are. When we were alone in our home and isolated, we realized I like people. I need that human interaction. Especially this year, I'm seeing a resurgence of in-person activities and in-person events. I was watching a talk show the other day, and they were talking about dating and how people were getting off the apps and doing in-person events. Being in relationship with people and having that human contact and connection is never going to go away. That is going to be a differentiating factor in success in the future because information is everywhere. We can become an expert at a AI search, right? You plug something in ChatGPT, all of a sudden I'm an expert at something. But what cannot be replaced by technology is human connection, relationship, and trust in that way. So it is going to be what separates the most successful people as we move forward in the future.
Although some instances, you sit and chat with somebody, you get to know them, maybe know about their family, what they like, the music, places they like to visit, and so forth. That's one mode of communication. The other mode sometimes can be you're speaking. Maybe you have a 5 to 10 minute presentation, a window into your soul, a window into your business. Do you prep people to do that? Because you're part of a speaking association, right? You got to have a story. It's got to be short enough, but interesting enough, right? So it's got to have some flair. It has to have a little bit of flair into it. Do you help people in that space then to structure their, not a pitch, but I know this is stuff you should know and so forth? Is that a good way to share that information and then have it echo out there so that the information gets shared further?
Absolutely. Anytime you get to have a microphone, you are the perceived expert. Being able to articulate what are your services, what's your value, give a little nugget on something that might be helpful in your industry. And that's a great opportunity to promote your business. So yes, absolutely. I help my clients articulate what's their value, what are some things that they can say when they get that time at the microphone, and not in a, like you said, not in a pitching way. Sometimes you have these business networking events and you get 30 seconds to introduce yourself, and that's fine. You don't have to have the perfect pitch. The only time you need a perfect pitch is if you're going on Shark Tank. If you're going to a networking event where you got to introduce yourself, it's to help spark the conversation and to let people know who you are. The number one thing is to make a connection and to build relationship. So it's not as much what you say, it's how you say it and who you connect with. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to share your message and then follow up by building relationship.
So one thing that interests me, and it may even be a whole separate podcast, but here's this realtor. She's pretty good. People like her. She sells some houses, and maybe a local Girl Guide troupe asks for her to give a 10-minute talk, or maybe she does something at the office where she's passing on some information for the team. How do you go from competent realtor to I want to be a speaker? There's a journey there that really interests me.
For me, I've been on a personal development journey my whole life. Like, I want to be the next best version of myself. And one of the things that I had the opportunity in real estate, I got to see some incredible speakers like Zig Ziglar. I saw him twice before he passed away. I saw him in person. I saw Colin Powell was an incredible speaker. I saw Stephen Covey. I've seen some incredible speakers, and I know the experience they gave me and what I gleaned from that. And that's what I wanted to give to other people. And so it was a challenge for me, being naturally shy and introverted. So I have worked on it, and it's still a journey. I'm not on a stage with 100,000 people yet. I've been on stage with 1,000 people, but it's a journey. And it's that desire to become the next best version of myself and the experience that I've had that I want to help other people have as well.
You mentioned earlier that there are certain things to do to hone the craft of building relationships. What are the top 3 things you would recommend for people to do on a consistent basis, whether it's weekly or monthly? Practice does make perfect. What are the things that you would recommend people focus on?
Number 1, picking up the phone and using it as a phone to make a phone call. I think this is a lost art. I don't think it's totally lost, but it is diminishing rapidly. And so we have this phenomenal tool that is a phone that does so many other things these days besides being a phone. But when you look at relationship and influence, right? If you want to influence someone to move or act or make a decision, that needs to be done voice to voice or face to face. You have to be in dialogue, right? Electronic communication is for information. It's to disseminate information. It's not for persuasion or influence, especially when it comes to sales and building a trusted relationship. Getting voice to voice is the fastest way to build relationship, voice to voice and face to face. But when you are looking at scalability and time, making phone calls is the quickest, best method to build relationship.
Would you say that the follow-up to that would be, because I've seen this done before, it's called swag. And if someone is sponsoring an event, it's like a little league team. All of a sudden you see all these nice sporting outfits on there supported by company X. Is that another way to help propagate and just remind people, and use that in collaboration and then tell your story, or tell your story and then swag?
Telling your story is going to be far more compelling to move people to act. So yes, having great swag, highly recommended. And it helps elevate your professional image when you have good quality marketing material to support what you said verbally.
I've been sniveling for a Knack for Business polo shirt for 2 years now.
I have a phenomenal person that can help you with that. Her name's Deanne Hayes with Ink It Up Designs. She does all my promotional items. She's amazing.
This girl's good. I love it. I have a question for you. Let's assume that we understand what you're doing and we're trepidatious. We're a little scared. We want what you do. We want what you say. We want what you think, but we're afraid to spend $500 on a coaching call. Do you have a book or an ebook or a seminar, or that we can get our toe in the water?
I am working on a couple of books right now that they're not out yet. I do have a newsletter on LinkedIn. That is a great way to get some insights on some of the things that I teach. I do have some workshops coming up. I don't have anything on a regular basis right now, but I do speak at a lot of chambers and different places. So if you have some place that you want me to speak, you can see if it works out. You can find me on LinkedIn. I also have a YouTube channel. So YouTube is great. You can watch a bunch of videos. I have, I don't know how many on there, over 100, I'm sure. I've had my YouTube channel for many years. Those are a couple of free places.
Do you spend more time in some geographical areas than others? Other than how do we get a hold of you?
So I am located in the San Francisco Bay Area. That is my home base, and that is where I spend most of my time. My business website is businessacceleratongroup.net. And my personal business website is milecollmer.com. So those are two places to check me out and get more information.
I want to say thank you to Maile Collmer, my co-host Wayne Pratt, you the Knack for Business listeners. If you're looking to understand networking and how to build those relationships, reach out to Maile. She'll be more than glad to help you. And maybe even visit her out in San Francisco. The weather is a little sunnier and a little warmer than it is out here on the east part of the continent.
To reach the podcast hosts, email them at info@creativeinsight.com or by the website creativeinsight.com, spelled KREATIVINSIGHT.com. To reach Wayne at his email, Wayne@motivate.uca, that is MOTIVE, the numeral 8 and the letter U.ca, or his website motivate.uca. If you would like to be a guest on this podcast and share your knowledge, let us know. We would also appreciate your feedback on the content or format. Check the show notes for more details. For these podcasts, we like to acknowledge the support and thanks to the following people: Carl Richards from Podcast Solutions Made Simple, a renowned podcast expert; Fred Crouch, who is the Property Wizard podcaster, where Bernie is a co-host; Jovan Strika from At Hive, a co-working space that is more than just a space; then Melanie Weber, Bernie's invaluable business partner; and Wayne Pratt from Motivate You Inc., who serves as both a coach and co-host of these podcasts. Disclaimer: please note that the Knack for Business podcast episodes are meant solely for educational and general informational purposes. The information and opinions contained within are not intended to be professional advice on any subject matter. The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed by the participants are their own personal beliefs and do not represent the views of the podcast hosts or any affiliated organizations. It is important to note that this podcast is not a replacement for consulting with certified experts in your area who possess knowledge of your unique situation. The hosts of the podcast, along with any participants or affiliated groups, do not take responsibility for any actions taken or not taken based on the information presented in this episode. It is highly recommended that individuals seek guidance from their own personal advisors in fields such as accounting, law, or other pertinent areas prior to undertaking any actions or making decisions that may impact their financial, legal, or other aspects of life.